morning, y'all. Happy Friday. Tyler, obviously, if you haven't been here before. So, I've been going through a few things, and going through a few things led to going through a few more things, because shunning is the gift that keeps on giving. I've got some pretty massive PTSD and anxiety, and my dad was nice enough to watch my son last weekend for me, because I had to try and get some work done and manage some severe symptoms at the same time. So he told me before he took my son he was going to be going to visit my grandfather. Now here's the difference between the two. My dad and I, we talk, we have a good relationship. I admit that I've put a little bit of a strain on that relationship because, you know, I'm going through some things with this severe anxiety and PTSD. And I've gone on a few rants with him about the Jehovah's Witnesses, and he is not exactly comfortable with talking about all that with me, I don't think. But I think I touched a nerve when I asked him, because, you know, preaching is a main tenet in that religion. And I asked him if he felt comfortable or if he felt ethical teaching a Bible study. I don't know if he has any. I don't ask. If he felt comfortable teaching a Bible study that he believes people as incredible and as giving and as self-sacrificing as my husband are going to be annihilated in Armageddon for the simple fact that they aren't Jehovah's Witnesses. And he's like, I don't believe that. And I'm like, I know you don't believe that. But that's what the organization teaches. I think I touched a nerve. I hope I did. Now my grandfather, on the other hand, all in. To the point where cognitive dissonance would not even be a thing. If you were to say something to him that triggers that discomfort of two opposing ideas or beliefs, I would put money on it. And I work hard for my money. I would put money on it that his mouth would close, the wall would go up, and he would literally turn around and walk away without another word. I haven't spoken to him in 13 and a half years. But I have not physically placed myself in a kingdom hall in the back so I could be publicly, visibly, and demonstrably shunned by a bunch of congregation members. You know, because I have not humbly put myself through that abuse and that demonstration of submissiveness and rolling over belly up so that they can gut me emotionally, because seriously, y'all, I cannot deal with this. Like, part of my PTSD comes from the witnesses, and especially my judicial committee. I couldn't do it if I wanted to. Even if I wanted to play the blackmail game and put myself through that, despite believing, or even wholeheartedly believing all the weird stuff. Like, even incredible people are going to be annihilated in Armageddon. The anointed are the only ones that Jesus plays mediator for. 607 BCE being correct while the rest of, you know, historians are wrong, and somehow calculating it to 1914, and the generations and millions that would never die turned into some sort of contemporary or overlapping generation. I'm not even sure at this point. It's just weird, and I don't agree with it. And not to mention the policy stuff where you can be disfellowshipped on strong circumstantial evidence. Maybe not even strong circumstantial evidence based on some of the stuff I've heard. But you need 2 witnesses for child sexual abuse. You know, it was a few months ago, we went to a fire hall banquet. It was one of the more formal ones, and there were people in suits, and they had jobs, and they looked serious, and they were walking around, and, you know, it was like watching the ministerial servants do their thing at the watchtower, and honest to God, the world started crashing in on me. Just seeing these guys in suits that were moving around like they had a job to do. Like, I can't. I am physically incapable. And even if I were all in, I can guarantee you there is not a way to be reinstated without subjecting yourself to public abuse. Even if I were an all-in Jehovah's Witness, I would rather be smited than live with the level of anxiety and PTSD I have. If Armageddon came tomorrow, I'd be screwed because I haven't had enough therapy to walk back in those darn doors. Now, that all being said, let's get back to how shunning is the gift that keeps on giving. And my dad watching my son for me. And my dad going to go visit my grandfather, who is all in. I was okay with it because apparently my grandfather treats my son great, from what I'm told. And I really needed that break. So I was like, you know what? He'll play with my little cousin who's about the same age, and they'll have some fun and everything will be fine. No, guess what? My grandfather happened to have a go-kart this time. Some stupid freaking go-kart. He's been asking 2 times a day when he can go see Pop-Up again with this stupid go-kart. And now I'm stuck with this brand new next generation victim trying to explain to my son in a way that does not vilify my grandfather my father, because my son is smart and he knows that my father's also a Jehovah's Witness. I need to find a way to be honest and explaining it to him that we can't go see Pop-Up in his go-kart because we can't have anything to do with him, because he won't have anything to do with me. And there is nothing I can do, especially in the immediate time, and anywhere in the near or probably somewhat distant future at the rate it's going, to fix that. Not a thing that I can do to fix it. And my son is probably going to be mad at me. My dad's probably going to try to explain to him that, you know, I had a choice, and my grandfather is going to be like, you know, she did something terrible and wasn't repentant for it because, you know, she's a bad person or whatever, and my son's going to be mad at me, and I have to find a way to explain to this next gen victim, because, you know, they don't affect and tear apart families at all whatsoever. They're such a loving and strong and family strengthening religion. Yeah, freaking right. It's the gift that keeps on giving, y'all. We're going on to the next generation. But you know what? They're not at fault, are they? It's all the victim's fault. I should have just sucked it up, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I was really hoping to be able to insulate my son from this. And I was not in a really good spot. be trying to think up a way to explain this. Because my episode a few weeks ago ended up with a little bit of melancholy added to all of my symptoms that danced on the edge of depression and sometimes fell in. So, I've been having a fabulous time, if you can tell. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving. We're going on generations now. Yay. 100% genuine sarcasm right there. But yeah, it's a gift that keeps on giving, y'all. If you got any tips or hints or tricks on how to talk to my son without villainizing my father, I would love to hear it.